I was diagnosed when I was 27.
Hardcore facts about RP.
You don't know what the other side looks like or what it feels like or what it is like. So you imagine the worst. I mean, I think that's why blindness is probably the second most feared disease, even though it's not terminal. And that's because it's such an unknown, what's on the other side of that curtain when it falls.
It's really hard to believe that it's been 42 years since we started it. I mean, the time has flown. And that's maybe because we've worked hard, really hard every day over those years, and because we've accomplished so much.
We're down on the Cape. That was the first time I noticed that he had an eye problem. We had been at a party for a very short time. We decided to walk back to the boat and wait for our friend who had taken us to the party, and he tripped over, 3 or 4 rocks and things walking. And I thought, this is really bizarre. He hasn't had anything to drink hardly. And so then Gordon talked about it and said that at night, it was sort of like, gee whiz, well, I don't know. I find I don't see very well at night anymore.
We all, as human beings, believe that the ingenuity of humans will make happen what we can imagine. Just think about that. It'll make happen what we can imagine.
When I looked in Gordon's eye, it was a harrowing experience for me.
We have faith in the innovativeness and the ingenuity of our researchers. We have faith in the vision and guidance of our leaders. And we have faith in the plain power of good old-fashioned fundraising. Those are the ingredients that make this foundation what it is and why we are now making the impossible possible.
Gordon is courteous to the end, and I tried to be the same, but I felt I had to tell him the truth, that he had his own life to lead, a second child on the way, and I remember even saying, if you have time and there's any part of the world you haven't seen, see the world.
Will people be able to look into the faces and see the details of the faces of the people they love and of their friends? I mean, that's possible. That's very exciting.
I lost all my night vision. I couldn't drive at night. I couldn't move around very well. And then in 1970, my day vision started to go very rapidly, much more atypical than usually is the case. I could almost notice one day to the next some change in my field of vision. I mean, when I'd read the paper, I could read it in paragraphs or a book and see almost the whole page, and then I went down to lines and then words, and then by the end of October of 1970, I could see just letters, and then that was gone.
And now I think we can say going forward, not only do we provide hope, we provide healthy eyesight to a lot of people, and we're going to increase the amount of that. Saving and restoring sight, and we're doing it now. Thank you.
This abrupt loss of sight is atypical for retinitis pigmentosa, a disease that often destroys eyesight over time. But most things in this man's life are atypical. The story of Gordon Gund is one of luck, loss, and legend.